going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sports Affiliation Betting Collaboration. This is episode 10. That's always a cool number to be at, right? Making it to the double digits with this show. We really appreciate you joining us. If you have any betting questions, simply reach out to us. You can find me at IDP_Iggy. You can find the Sports Affiliation at the Sports Affili, starts with the I. And then my man Evan, you can find him at SoCal Ball Nerd, all one word, on the X, formerly known as Twitter. How you doing today, sir?
I am doing well. It's Thursday. It's week 5. We're back at it to the NFL. So I'm good, man. We got Bears Commanders tonight. I don't know how fascinating of a matchup that is for people outside of Chicago and Washington. I've talked to people that, what a matchup. But you know what? Sometimes those turn into some of the best games. So I'm hoping we get one of those tonight. But I'm doing well, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to pull up the lines real quick because I know what they were last night. They have not changed. We were up last night talking a little bit. Yeah, you always get a chance to bet. Not going to be going willy-nilly. I do want to give a shout out to Better Vision. I just want to say, you should be using it, man. I'm using it, making books. You're going to see right here when I pull up the screen, making bets on multiple books. So therefore, I want to see them all at one time. I just go look at it. Better Vision, pull it up. Right now for Apple, they will have the Android version soon, so do not panic about that. Yeah, dude, just looking at the lines real quick. Let me log in. I did hit a 20% withdrawal last week, so that was pretty cool. We're 1/5 of the way to the goal, and there's kind of four-week chunks in the NFL season still. I think Evan alluded to that on the last show, but so right there, 20, and then you add the playoffs and the Super Bowl. If we can kind of keep this pace, we'll hit our goal, and that's really what it's all about, hitting goals. So the spread's at 6. We went from 5.5 last night to 6. No hook. That's better, in my opinion. And 44.5 point over/under, -265 to +215. Just your thoughts on the game, those straight bets. Do you have a straight bet?
I don't have a straight bet on the game. Of course, I have, a couple props there. I do think that Chicago makes this game pretty close. Washington's defense, I thought going into the year would be a lot better. They really haven't done much on the defensive side of the ball. I know they had, the Eagles and they had the Bills the last 2 weeks, but they just haven't done a good job out wide against receivers. They haven't been able to stop mobile quarterbacks. Not really what Chicago did last week. We know what Denver has done the last few weeks, so it's hard to say, Chicago's, back in it. But I do think both teams, will score points. I would lean the over on that play. And I do expect the Bears to cover that spread, but I did not lay either of those. But, looking into everything, I do like the Bears to cover that 6 and hit that over 44.5.
Hey, man, I love it. I kind of feel the under in this game, but I kind of stayed away from it. It is an NFC battle, so there is things that will matter. But as far as the straight bet goes, let's just go ahead and pull up the screen real quick. We'll get it going for us. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me go make that a little bigger real quick for everybody, Evan. And
yeah, one reason I didn't lay that over is just what you said. I have this thought in the back of my mind that we're going to get some ugly, no scoring, no fun kind of watching football. And I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, we don't know. Justin Fields just had a career game. Washington kind of gave Philadelphia everything they could handle, but that's an old rivalry. Those teams know each other very well, regardless of who the coaches are. So I didn't really place a money line bet, but I did feel good about Washington, man. And I just went ahead and teased down the line. You know how we like to tease it, and it's right there. BS stands for Barstool. It's not bullshit or anything. And it's Washington -2.5. So I teased that line from 6 to -2.5, saying maybe they'll win last second field goal, tied up, whatever scenario. It doesn't return a lot. Oh, man, I got the wrong one on here. Oh, my bad, guys. Oh, not that one either. This is my bad. Real quick, let me get this going. But, yeah, I do think they will win. It wouldn't surprise me, if the Bears did win on this matchup, but then again, I do expect the better team to win this game. So let me pull it up. Trying to pull it up. Here's our here's our bets for the week, and that's what I have right here. I was like, man, I didn't think I was going to talk about the perfect score, but we can. That's not that big a deal. And I'll view it up. So, what is your first bet, Evan, for the game tonight?
So I have on my props, I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. He's got to be able to run the ball all over this team. I do think that he clears the yard total, but I didn't go there. I don't know where this game script's going to go. Antonio Gibson can get in the game. Maybe Chicago scores some points early. We see a little bit of Gibson. Either way, this Bears team's given up 8 touchdowns to running backs. And in the red zone, it's going to be Brian Robinson all day long. The opportunity's got to be there to eat. He's plus 105 for an anytime touchdown. So I went, instead of anything with the rushing and receiving, I took the touchdown for Brian Robinson. Plus 105, put a unit on that.
Yeah, I do love it. I was looking at that bet as well myself. He scored 4 touchdowns and touchdowns in 3 of the 4 games. So pretty obvious trend. Ron Rivera and Eric Bimini trust Robinson to do what he does well down there. So I took his yardage over 65.5. He's gone over that in 2 games. It's gotten pretty close in the 3rd game. And I just expect them to, that's where my vision of the game is. That's what we talk about, envision where you think the game will be. And I just think they're going to run the ball. And that leads kind of into my 2 prop bets. So there's my Washington bet. Like I said, Barstool, that's in the DK is DraftKings. And then that other bet is actually on the MGM. So I didn't put that on there. But those are my 3 bets right there. Robinson over 65.5 rushing yards. Therefore, I think Edwards is going to have over 8.5 tackles. He's had it every game this season. I don't know why he stops right now. He was one of my top 10 linebackers, tier 1 linebacker, even though that was far from the consensus. So I've put a full unit on Robinson because I trust that. I trust the positive game script with negative 2.5 for them to hand it off to Robinson. Short week. Just let him eat up that defense, pound away, pound away, pound away. And it's at negative 110. So pretty much a straight prop. Excuse me. So that brings back 1.9 units on it. I only put 0.2 unit on the DraftKings bet because it was the boost. He's actually at negative like 135. I've seen him as high as negative 145 on that same line. So I just took it to get a little plus money on it. It's not a big gain, but it is a gain, and it's something I feel confident about, and it will probably be the jailhouse bet of the night. And then, like we said, Washington game, I put a half a unit on that, and that's returning little under 3/4 of a unit. So almost a half a unit gain for that T spread. Like I said, it's a T spread. What else you got for us, man?
Nice. And, for Brian Robinson, I mean, even the game they lost by 30, he managed to get 7 yards a carry, and rush for, I think, 70 yards. So he is running the ball really well. So, like I said, I love that prop, too. I just, that plus money on the touchdown, I just couldn't stay away. I like DJ Moore tonight, too, man. Over 50.5 receiving yards. He's had 200-yard games. The Bears look to throw him the ball. Washington, has actually been pretty good against tight ends. I know Komet's been a big target for Fields, but Washington's done a very good job against tight ends. They gave up a lot of catches week 1, but not a lot of yards, and not much since then. So I do think their problem, we saw last week with the Eagles, we saw with Diggs, it's on the outside. Who's the guy that's on the outside that goes deep? It's DJ Moore. I mean, he might get that in 1 catch tonight, so I really like that play, and I mean, DJ Moore has burned me more so in fantasy more times than I can count. He has those up and down weeks, but even a down week, I think we're talking 51 yards for the main target against the secondary that doesn't seem to be playing very well. So DJ Moore, it's negative 120. I did just put a half a unit on that. And then I also went Justin Fields. I really did not want to go to the rushing prop for Fields because it just seems to be the obvious play. But the more I looked at it, Washington cannot stop mobile quarterbacks. I mean, Russell Wilson had 56 yards on 6 carries. We saw what Allen did. Hurts only had 34 yards, but he ran the ball 9 times. You got to think that Fields is going to use his legs a little bit. Maybe even a lot, right? Is he going to start putting it more in his hands with everything going on with that team? Either way, I like him to get over 47.5. It's just, I like that play. It's negative 120 as well. I did a half unit on there. So it's a half unit on Moore unit on Fields. So I think they both returned like 0.65 or something like that.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad, you know. And then I did, for a little bit of fun, I did do a little four leg. I usually don't do more than 3, but I did a 4-leg same game parlay. It's plus 635. You talked about teasing the spread. I talked about the Bears keeping it close. I still teased them even better. I went Bears plus 9.5. I went Cole Kmet, longest reception under 15.5 yards. I went DJ Moore, longest reception over 20.5 yards. And then Logan Thomas, over 2.5 receptions. So tight end for Washington there, of course. And on the other side of that, plenty of success against Chicago there. I think Thomas's yards are nice too, but with the parlay, he's a lot heavier favorite to get those 3 catches. He's hit him in 2 of the games. The only game he didn't, he went out early. He's actually been a viable target, you know, for Howell. So I think he'll get those 3 catches. So I just did a quarter unit on that, but it's plus 635. Just thought it'd be a little fun to throw a little mix in there, you know. Plus, I got into the long and short reception, and I was like, all right, I'm going to have a little fun here.
Yeah, I tried to place the same game parlay on MGM last night, and it just kept not like allowing me to do it. What I did is I teased down Robinson's yards to 50, Herbert's yards to 40. Just went straight Washington on the money line, and then I teased up the points. I think what was it? I was at 44. I think I teased it up to 53, and yeah, it was still pretty good money. It was like plus 360. So I don't know. I may still lay that. I don't know why I wasn't letting me lay that, you know. But sometimes I take it as a sign, like, okay, I'm not supposed to lay this bet.
Nice. What are you putting on that?
That was a 0.2 unit because it would have been money back if it didn't hit. So, you know.
Oh, there you go. Money back plus 360. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4-leg, nothing, you know, doable. Just tease back lines. So we'll see. I mean, Justin Herbert's line or Khalil Herbert's line is at 47.5, which is pretty ridiculous for a starting NFL running back. Washington has a pretty good front 7. So I don't know. It makes me lean towards what you said about Fields getting flushed out of the pocket, picking up, you know, massive chunks of yards. I could see that happening. I think I'm going to try to lay that as well. And, you know, it's just follow the game script, but you know, it's like we talk about. You know, you want to have an idea of what you envision, and that kind of goes with my game script of Washington being ahead, Brian Robinson toughing it out, running the ball, and Chicago playing from behind. So we'll see, man. I think that's a very good bet you got there, man. Anything else you'd like to say before we get out of here?
No, I think it's kind of funny that we kind of have similar ideas to the way these plays will work out. Although I think Chicago keeps it close, you know, and you have Washington winning. It's still right field scrambling, more getting the passing. I mean, Chicago's going to have to do that if they're behind. I just think a lot of that plays better. Like Herbert, I love that line, but I just don't trust the script that he'll get another 18 carries. What if Roschon gets in there? You know, I don't feel as confident about that happening. But again, you know, if you trust that script and you, like Herbert, know that you're confident he's going to get that 15-plus carries, it's hard to stay away from something like that, you know. So never want to deter anybody from something on their research. You know, if you believe in that script and your analysis shows that's why, hey, you know, you like it, take that play, you know, but don't make it make sense if it doesn't make sense. And if it does make sense, don't let people take you off that.
Yeah, exactly, man. At the end of the day, you're responsible for your betting, your fantasy football team. You know, all those things have become accountable to you. You know, you're accountable to yourself, just like I'm accountable to myself, just like everybody else out there is accountable for their own actions. Okay, it's like a true thing I heard all the time growing up. I was like cliches, like, you know, you can always control your attitude and your effort, and that at the end of the day needs to be applied to your betting as well. Yeah, I'm happy to have football. I know tonight we got the Thursday check down. We got Doug coming, high stakes guy, played ESPN, been on the auction panel at the FF Expo the 2 years I've been there. So, you know, well respected in the community. Glad he's going to be there. And it'll also be JC on there with him, and as well as Tip. So that's Greg. That's at 7 Eastern. Greg's doing it from his hotel, so I'm excited to see how that goes. And then we got the watch party. I'll probably hop in the first quarter at least, say what's up, but JC will be hosting that. Of course, we have our other, affiliate or sponsor. We want to thank the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Make sure you go download the app. I'm going to be posting these bets over there as well. And that's where I'll put my prediction for the score. I think it's at plus 9,500, so why not put a couple dollars on that to see if that hits? And, we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, go check out those guys. Yeah, nothing but fantasy football. You literally can post any question, gets responses to it. That's a great group of people over there. So make sure you go download that app. They'll be with the PAT after the show, after the game. I know JC's trying to go the whole game tonight. So if you want to hop on, watch football with us, talk about your lineup, basically talk about anything. It's kind of more of a spitball show than it is just strictly fantasy football. But it's a lot of fun. Come check it out. And then you can see what's going by underneath us. We got Coach Craig tomorrow. And then we have, I think as of right now, nothing on the weekend right now, but articles coming out daily. We got Anthony streaming defenses over at the website. We got our other Anthony. We have two Anthonys he saw from last week. You want to make sure you go check out that. And then JR bringing the NBA power rankings. You can see the playoff towel up there, baby. Talking about my Nuggets against the Evans Lakers, game 1. I'm so hyped for it. I can't believe it. Hockey's starting in 3 days. I work at an ice rink. It's all basketball, baby. It is all about the Denver Nuggets up here. We will be covering basketball bets as well. While we're out, I just want to promote it. We are going to do a fantasy basketball league. We will not draft till probably New Year's Eve, maybe New Year's Day, right in there somewhere. Or, that way I auto draft against all y'all and beat all y'all. Yeah, just kidding. But it'll be fun. We'll make it fun. We'll keep it low payment. And I just want to share the joy of fantasy basketball, NBA betting. Nuggets are reigning champions. I love it, man. Any closing comments, Evan?
No, man. I mean, like I said, basketball season coming. We got, the baseball, wild card series just ended. We got, the next series starting this weekend. So that should be fun. I mean, all 4 series were 2-game sweeps by every team that advanced. So no wild card games today huh?
Has that ever happened before? They've
only had this setup, right, for a few years with the extra wild card team. So there's no way that all 4 series went just 2 games. I mean, so no games today, no games tomorrow. Kind of helps the teams that did have to play kind of reset their pitching a little bit, against these teams that are waiting and ready. But Phillies Braves, I think, should be quite a series. 2 NL East teams. Braves been the best team all year. Phillies probably been the hottest team the last 70% of the season after a slow start. Probably a tough draw for the Braves, who've had the best record all year, but that's what happens in the playoffs, right? Nuggets got the hot Lakers. They were able to get it done. If the Braves are that team, they'll get it done. But I love it, man. We got baseball, football, basketball right around the corner. It's that perfect time of year where all 3 are going. Hockey coming. I mean, when you're starting at the ice rink, that means that things are just really ramping up in the sports world. So a lot more for us to do as well. So looking forward to some basketball props. Loving that. Fantasy basketball was great last year. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. And, again, download Better Vision. Appreciate them as always. We want to get that app. If you have an Android, just be patient, but check them out. Apple users, download the app, get all your bets, all your teams, all in one place. Just make it easy, make it organized. And, it's a lot easier that way than shuffling through everything. So just shout out Better Vision there one more time. Other than that, man, I'm ready for some football tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Like I said, reach out to us if you have any fantasy or betting questions. And until then, go Nuggets, and we'll see you guys shortly. Take care, everybody. Best smart. Be lucky.